Hey everybody, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 32 of the Thunder Model Scammell transporter build, 1/35th scale. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I bought a new toy and I want to give it a try. I'll do it on camera. I played with it just a little bit, but for masking things up, masking wheels and whatnot. So let's go down the bench and we'll take a look at what I got and I'll show you kind of how it works. All right, be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay, I wanted to work on masking some of the wheels a little bit today. Um, I like to clean everything really well before I do any kind of masking or painting. You got to be real careful if you use like fillers and things, but I like to clean my parts with this if I can. A lot of times I'll just put some in the airbrush and clean the parts before I spray them. Other times I soak them. These have just been in here for a few minutes, but I went over them all real good with a toothbrush and made sure there's no oils or anything on there. And then I've cleaned my hands good, and of course I've got alcohol on my hands, so I've got that all pretty well clean. Let me get these out of here. And I'll let them dry, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I've got in mind. Let's see here. Okay, we'll just do this real quick. I know which ones are which. It won't take very long for them to dry. I just keep a little tub of this IPA, and I always keep a lid on it because it won't take long for it to evaporate, and it'll just be gone. All right, I'll be right back, guys, and I'll show you kind of what I got in mind. Thanks. Okay, these are almost dry, not quite, but anyway, I wanted to show you what I got here. I've got 14 tires, wheels, that all need to be masked up. What I do is I put a piece of round masking tape in the center so that we don't get any paint where the glue joint is going to be. Then I prime them, then I paint them the tire black color. Then I come back and I mask around the wheel, and then I spray that on both sides. So we've really got to mask these like 3 times. So that's quite a few pieces of masking tape. I've been using one of those cutting boards. I don't remember now what the name is on it, but anyway, I thought about it for a little bit, and then I ran across one of these. Decided to give this a try. The Display circle cutters. I played with it just a tiny little bit, but they really package it well. Really nice the way they present this. And this way. It comes with a, I guess I should move things to where you can see it more. It comes with a piece of rubber that you can put on the bottom you have to stick this piece on to make it where it's kind of a non-slip. Basically, it's a bearing. I don't know if it's a ball bearing or tapered bearing, but it's a sealed bearing inside of a metal collar. And that's how you go about doing your circles. This comes, and where did I put it? Here it is. The little cutter's going to get lost, I'm sure of it. There's the little cutter right there. It comes with a couple Allen wrenches and things for various things, but reading the stuff online, a lot of people were concerned about where they were going to get replacements for these. It's a carbide cutter, okay, and it's cut at I believe it's a 45-degree angle. You know, it's going to last a long time on masking tape, but eventually it will wear out, and that is super sharp. I did a little looking online, and Amazon carries cutters for like plotters, like the I can't even think of what they're called now, crickets and that type of thing. Now this isn't the exact same size as the cricket, but you can measure these in, they do carry cutters this size in like 3 different angles for light cuts, medium cuts, and heavy cuts. There you can buy like 8 or 12, something like that, four of each different angle for $12 or $15. So it's not a major expense. This is the cutter. I would keep that protector on there just as long as I could. But what you do is you put this in here. That's one thing I noticed about this too, is every time, you know, if you want to put it in the box, you've got to screw this all the way down, which puts pressure on the cutter. So, you know, in order to keep it from, you know, for it to shut in the box, you've got to crank the handle all the way down every time. It'd be nice if you could just leave it adjusted. But what you do, you adjust this back to where it's got a real light pressure. Oops, let's put this on here. Well, let's just leave that for a second. What you do, there's a gauge here. That would be 0, so that would be exactly centered. And this is for this is radius of a circle. So, like, say for instance, if I want to cut a 13 millimeter circle, you would want to cut like a 6.5 millimeter radius. So it would be about 6. See, that's another thing I've noticed about this. It would be nice if there was like a screw adjuster where you could really do a fine adjust on it. But I'm just looking at this, and that looks really close. Whoop, and then I moved it. See, we'll try it at about, very difficult to get it exactly. Okay, so that should be about a 13 millimeter circle. Then don't do it on your cutting mat. Do it on like a piece of cardboard or something, because this thing will it'll cut your cutting board up really quick, and it'll also really dull your cutter. Just take a piece of tape and put it on like a shiny piece of cardboard. I saved these. They're just from cereal boxes and stuff. And it takes a little bit to get the hang of how much pressure you need. Put that somewhere to where it won't get lost. Okay. Okay, and the cutter has to be turned counterclockwise. There's a little arrow down here, but adjust it up to where there's no pressure at all on it. See, that's too much. And it's got a spring that kind of helps. Well, let's get this started again. I backed it up too far. Okay. Okay, I figured out what's going on. This has got a separate threaded piece that goes in here. and I had it threaded all the way down to where I had no adjustment left at all. So that needs to be out kind of like that, and then we'll put the spring back in, and then we'll put the cutter in. And that still doesn't look quite right. Okay, the cutter goes in this way because there's a little tiny divot that makes that where it can pivot. It's all magnetized. Okay, I played around with this a little bit more, and I think I've got the pressure set just about right. The trickiest part of this is to get this to where you're going to see where your cut's going to be. But I figured if I put it like this and have this way, this is going to be the upper part of the circle, and it'll be cutting down. Okay, so put it like that, set it on your tape toward the top of the piece of tape. There we go. There we go. Okay. Move over a little bit. There's another one. Kind of hard to see on this. And see, I'm going. Should be going this direction. Might still have just a tiny bit too much pressure. Okay, and always put this upside down so your cutter doesn't dig into things. Let's see what we get now. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. Okay, good deal. I'd cut them pretty fast once I got it all figured out, and it'll get faster as I do more. These are pretty much dry. So let's go ahead and see if they fit. Okay. That'll work, just like that. Let me get a tweezer here. Yep, that'll work just fine. So that's how I'll be masking these off. Just a matter of practicing with it a little bit. That way when I do the spraying, the paint won't get where I want my glue. Okay. Yeah, I'll go down and burnish those down before I actually spray. We're supposed to be seeing rain today mixed with snow this afternoon. But yeah, that goes pretty darn fast once you kind of figure out how the pressure should be set. centered in there. A little bit more one side. There we go. Okay. Well, before I change the settings, get one more here. I'm going to go ahead and cut enough to do all of these. Okay, and then we'll give a try. I'm not going to put them on yet, but we'll give a try to cutting a mask to go around the outside of this. Okay. Let's see here. So I need 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 8 more of them. Let's see what we can do here. Uh-oh. My little pointer fell off. Apparently the screw was not terribly tight. Well, that's actually an Allen head, so get my Allen heads. This did take a little bit of assembly to before I started using it. Okay, I've got it pointed in the right direction now. So let's see if we can get some more of these cut before I change any of the settings. Gotta put the cutter back in. Okay, it's magnetic, it'll stay in there. And we'll give this thing, we need to go this direction. That's all it takes. We'll move over a little bit. Okay. That works really well. Once you get it sorted, that's the trickiest part, is to figure out where the circle is gonna land on the paper or on the tape. Okay. Not too bad. Nice clean cuts. Okay. Those actually have a little axle stub in the middle of them, so they're not gonna, tape's not gonna quite sit flat, but that's okay. It's gonna protect it. Okay. This bay makes two of these, I think. One of them's got more of a big, heavy, chunky, like aluminum frame around it. I think they basically work exactly the same. Okay. There we go. It didn't take long at all, did it? Okay, as an experiment, what I want to do is try and do the outside. So I'm not sure if these are all the same or not. But that looks like about 16.7. I'm not going to do these as one piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do halves and halves. That way you can kind of adjust a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. We're just about 17 millimeters. Yeah, I think they're going to be about the same. Yeah, about 17 millimeters should do it. These have actually got a little bit of alcohol still on the other side, so flip them over and let them dry well. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to do one just as a test. So if we're going to do 17 millimeters, that would be like 8.5 millimeters would be the radius. Let's see what we can do here. See how close we can come. Okay. Do a little more tape. I've got lots of this too. I saved probably way too much stuff. I would try and cut in a place where I haven't cut before, because I can feel little raised edges where the old cuts were. So what I'm thinking about, yeah, let's see here. Figure out the best way to do this. Yeah. See, that's actually going to cut off the tape just a little bit, because it's bigger than the tape is wide, which is all right. All right, there's two of them. Let's see what I can do here. Where's my knife? I want to save the outside of the tape this time. I'm going to cut it here. Cut it here. I should have done a neater job of this. Actually, if I cut it like here, let's see what we get. go. That's what I'm looking for. We'll go something like this. And then there's enough flex in the tape where you can adjust for any inaccuracies. Okay. And then go back over it. There we go. And then another piece of tape to protect what's left of the tire, but that gives you the basic idea. Yeah, I like that cutter. It's pretty fast once you set it all up. Okay, guys. Just as soon as I can, I'll get these primed, and then I'll spray them with the rubber black. And then I'll come back and mask like this on all of them, both sides. And then I'll do the centers in the olive drab. Okay, so I'm going to call that good for today. I like this. It's a little fiddly to get adjusted and set up correctly. But yeah, it's like most things though. It's probably around $35–40 depending on where you buy it, but boy, if you're doing a lot of masks, I think it'll be well worth it. I'm going to put that cutter away. Don't forget, if you've got one of these and you need a cutter for it, measure yours and check out Amazon for plotter cutters, because they do have, and actually they're color coded. The reds are 45s. I don't remember now. There's reds and there's like blues and yellows or something like that for the different angles. So if you're cutting a heavy cut, you can get a different cutter, or if you're doing something really thin, you can get a lighter cutter. Anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. I just wanted to show you my new toy and kind of show you how it works. Okay, we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.